Hello, my name is Fergal O'Byrne. I'm the author of Extremophiles. I'm delighted that you're considering the play and its impact on you and on your learning and on society. It's taken me about 2 to 3 years to write this play, and I have really tried to do as much research as possible to make it authentic. But it is still a piece of imagination, it's a creation. The world of the characters you see is fictitious, but it does mirror what goes on in real life. And what I really wanted to do with the play was to raise some issues about how human beings deal with isolation, how they deal with close proximity, and how they deal with the actual existential threat to their very being. And by that I mean the 4 people that end up alone in the research station could very well be the last human beings alive. They don't know if they are or if they are not. They think from what they hear on the news that there is global thermonuclear warfare. It could be Armageddon. It could be the end of civilization as we know it. They don't know if it's not. And I've always wondered, how would we change our attitudes to life? How would we try and survive? You know, any of us could be one of those 4 people, and any of us could be suddenly thrust upon us that we are the last of humanity, that we have to survive. We have to, it's deeply embedded in our DNA that we will survive. It's something we've always done, rather. So I suppose that's really one of the things I was hoping to raise. Another, I suppose, more overt theme is the idea of, global warming. It's a hackneyed phrase, but it's important. All the things that we're doing, are we ruining the planet? Are we going to leave anything behind for future generations? And that's heavily hinted at in some of the other things that happen. So not just the idea that science is destroying the planet, but also that science could possibly save it. And I hope, and I don't want to spoil the ending, but I hope that, there is a hope. There is the idea that no matter how low our fellow human beings sink, that if there is enough of us to carry the torch and to progress, that we will actually survive, and we will, keep our own planet and hopefully move on to Mars and other planets and colonize them, and the human species will thrive. That's one of my hopes. So I suppose what I was hoping, people like yourselves who are, thankfully you have youth on your side, and you're young, you're starting out, you're in gymnasium, you're trying your best to learn, you're questioning everything. What I'm hoping that, I suppose, the younger people of today would say is, well, how is this relevant to them? Well, I'm hoping that they see in the characters bits of them, that in Lars and Angela and Fiskler, and even in the older Bertram, that they see bits of them. How would they react to the situation? Effectively, you are all in this situation now. Planet Earth is under stress, it's under pressure. And what are you doing about it? How are you helping it? Are you, just sitting back and letting it wash over you? Are you agitating? Are you doing something? Do you care? And I think each of the 4 characters in the play, as you go through it, you'll see, they all have the reasons for being in this isolated environment. They all have a past. Some of them have something sorrowful that happened to them. Some of them are trying to get away from something. Some of them just really want to be there to further science. But how do they react when they're put under pressure, when, push comes to shove and they might be the only people left? Well, I think you'll see, one of the characters is prepared to make the ultimate sacrifice. Some of them aren't. So, I'd like you to question yourself. Which character do you most identify with? I know there's lots of apps going around, which character are you in Game of Thrones? And they ask you 10 questions. Well, maybe it's a good idea to talk among yourselves and see which character would you like to be and which character do you actually think you are. I'm hoping that the 4 characters represent quite a spectrum of humanity. I've tried to make sure they represent different shades and facets of what it is to be a human being, and the human character and psyche, and how that, how when that's under pressure, how does it react? So, would you make the ultimate sacrifice to save, 3 other people or to save humanity? I don't know. Ask yourselves the question. I'd really love to know the answers. I've asked myself the question a few times and the answer changes. So let's see how you fare. So I really, really hope you enjoy the play. I hope you enjoy the script. I worked with Birgit and Christopher on a session examining some of the themes, and we really did peel back some of the layers. I hope you can see that there's every bit of dialogue is there for a reason. There's metaphors and parables hidden under some of the text, and sometimes it's what's not said is more important than what is said, and I'd love you to tease that out in conversation and discussion, and if you're going to act out parts of the play, see how you get on. I'm hoping that I get to meet with Birgit and Christopher more, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions or queries you may have, and I really look forward to seeing some of you at an actual performance of the play. So without any further ado, I'll sign off, and my message is please enjoy it, please study it, and please let it question you and you question it. Thank you for your time.